Okay guys, I'm sorry, I hope this isn't too difficult to see, but I have the problem up here on my iPad, or I thought I did. Alright, so let's read it together. After a trip to the zoo, Miss Anderson's students voted on their favorite animals. Use the bar graph to answer the following questions. So we know that a bar graph is anything that uses bars to tell us information, right? So that's pretty simple. Let's look at A. The first question says, which animal got the fewest votes? Well, I know you all know that fewest means littlest or smallest, right? So which one looks like the smallest bar in this graph? You can sound that word out, and that is a flamingo. So for A, we would write flamingo in the blank right here. Or if you're doing this on paper, just on paper. Let's look at B. It says, which animal got the most votes? Well, we know most means biggest. So what's the biggest line here? Which animal has the biggest bar? Looks to me like the Komodo dragon. So for B, all you're writing is Komodo dragon. Okay, so now we have to do some numbers. C says, how many more students liked Komodo dragons than koala bears? So now we actually have to use these numbers on the bottom. Let me zoom in. So if we see these numbers on the bottom, those tell us the number of votes. It's kind of just like the dots that we did in our last problem, except instead of dots this time, they're filling in an entire square, okay? So if we know that they like Komodo dragons the most, I'm going to follow my bar graph all the way out, and the Komodo dragon got 11 votes. So now I'm going to come to my paper, and I'm going to write down 11 votes. 11, okay? And now we want to compare the Komodo dragon to the koala bear. So the koala bear is the last one in our bar graph. And if I follow his bar graph out, I see it stops at the number 4. So the koala bear only got 4 votes. So now if I want to find out how many more, we know how many more means difference. So I need to take 11 and subtract 4. 11 minus 4 would be 7. So you don't have to write it in a sentence. It looks like on here you can just fill in the blank, or you can just say 7 more votes, or whatever you want to say. Okay? Now the last one says, later, 2 students changed their votes from koala bear to snow leopard. Uh-oh. What was the difference between koala bears and snow leopards? So it means what was the difference after those students changed their votes. So if 2 students changed their votes from koala bear, there were 4, but 1, 2 changed their minds. So how many are left? 2. So now the koala bear only has 2. So let's write that. Koala equals 2. Okay? Now, it says the difference between them and snow leopards. So we haven't looked at that one yet. That's the second one in our bar graph. And if we follow snow leopard, it goes all the way out to the 9. So they originally got 9 votes, but we need to remember that it says these kids, these students, changed their votes from koala bear to the snow leopard. So remember, we saw the koala had 4, but we took away 2. Where did those 2 go? Those 2 koala bear votes went to the snow leopard. So now we have 9 votes plus 2 more, which would be 10, 11. So the snow leopard has 11 votes. So I'm just going to write snow L for short, and it has 11 votes. That's a big difference, huh? And the question just wants to know what's the difference between those two. And we know difference means subtraction. So all we have to do is take 11 minus 2, and we get 9. So 9 votes is the difference. And that's it. Again, I know these questions have A, B, C, and D. Take them one step at a time. Don't try to do D without doing A. Do them in order, one thing at a time. If you get overwhelmed, take a step back, take a break. You got it, okay? If you can't do it now, you just can't do it yet. Love y'all. Hope to see you soon, and I'll be back in a second with some Flora and Ulysses.